The market is giving back some today. We're going to take a look at why that is, what's going on here. We're going to look at some of our favorite stocks this morning. Let's start with the economic calendar here today. You can see that today we've got Optimism Index, PPI is out today, and then we've got two Feds and the federal budget today. All right, so Optimism is already on this list here. It came in at 105. It came in a pretty significant amount above the expectation of 100.5. So that's actually kind of nice to see that optimism is there. Then the PPI, we got to go to X for that. You can see that the US PPI came in 0.2% for month over month with an expectation of 0.4. That's half the expectation. That's really good. US PPI core came in at 0.0 with an expectation of 0.3. The year over year came in at 3.3 with an expected of 3.5. And the core came in at 3.5 year over year with an expected of 3.8. So these numbers are actually coming in good, suggesting that the Fed may have inflation under control. And with that, as a result, we are seeing pre-markets get nice big boosts. Let's go to a 1 hour chart here. Honestly, this started in the aftermarket yesterday, but you can see that just since yesterday's close, this is CleanSpark, by the way, we are up 4% just since yesterday's close. So that is pretty exciting. That is pretty great to see. And you can see that we're actually doing a bull flag here, meaning that we may be primed to go higher. What's the pole on this bull thing here? Let's see. The pole is about here to here. So we'd be looking at going a lot higher, actually. Let me go. Let's go from the body, actually. Could go as high as 12 bucks off of this little move right here. That would be pretty exciting. Now, I'm not necessarily expecting that. I can see the stochastics don't look great. MACD is kind of curling back a little bit on the hourly. If we go to the daily, however, on the daily chart, if it's ever going to load, man, the internet is quite slow today. Let's go look at the 10-year, 3-month spread. Yesterday was making me sweat a little bit. Got all the way up to 4.2. Remember, at 0.5, things get a little too risky for me, and I'm going to go risk off at that scenario when that happens. But we should see this dip today with that PPI reading. So that would be nice. As long as we can keep this thing between 0 and 5, kind of floating around, the market has room to move up. All right, now this is the daily. So there's some interesting things here on the daily to look at. All right, so one, we had a falling wedge. This here was a trend line. I don't remember exactly why I do that. Sometimes I can't remember why. We can see a nice big gap here. We might see a gap up and go. That would be very exciting. And if that were the case, we'd be looking at a double bottom here. We got a bottom there and a bottom here. We got to get over the neckline of 1144. And that ends up being a double bottom, where the end of this double bottom being up here at about $15, or at least between $13.15 and $15. Okay. So if this ends up being a double bottom and we can get over that 1140-ish range there, this downtrend could be over and we could be looking at going higher. As long as we get above that, we make a higher high, because right now it looks like we're making a higher low, and that is great. So a higher low, potential double bottom, we get above 1140 here, 1144, and we're making a higher high, and then we are going to be finally moving back up to $15 here for CleanSpark, and that would be fantastic. That'd be great to see. Bit Digital, you can see in the pre-market here, we got again another big gap up. We're looking at the exact same double bottom here. We got the MACD crossed up, but it looks like it wants to interact again. It looks like it's curling right back down here. You can see that down here. I've got pink on purple here on my stochastic ribbons and a red dot on the B extender. So Bit Digital is not looking so hot. It is going to require Ethereum to make a move to get Bit Digital moving again. You can see 387 here would be the mark of this double bottom here, where it could potentially go back up to $5 off of that. Let's take a look at Bitfarms. Exact same pattern. We got a double bottom. This one could move as high as $2, between $2 and $2.34 off of this double bottom if it comes through. But here's the difference. Here's the difference. You're going to hate me for pointing this out. Bitfarms made a lower low. Look at this. It did not make a higher low. It made a lower low. So Bitfarms is actually showing a weaker formation than its peers at this time. And that sucks. Again, same MACD. Whoa. Same MACD as Bit Digital. We're just trying to curl back over again. Let's take a look at Mara. On the daily here, exactly the same thing. We got a double bottom, but again, Mara made a lower low here, so I'm holding off on Mara still for now. I really want to see it get above this 1980 level, above $20. Above $20, there's still a lot of profit on the table, even if I didn't catch the bottom. And if this ends up being a double bottom, Mara could go as high as, let's see, 23 and up to 30. So that's what I'm looking for. I'd really like to see Mara get above $20.63, and then I'd be looking at this as a long again. Right now, it did make a lower low, and that is not good. So I made a higher high right here, right off of this high right there, higher high and lower low. So we could be doing something of a megaphone here on Mara. So watch out for that. And Mara is still below on the MACD. The MACD has not crossed up on Mara yet. We got pink on purple here. We got a red on the extender, and it is deepening. So Mara is actually looking like garbage right now. And this does look like a big, disgusting head and shoulders, but I don't know where it would go. The bottom would be like 1460 or something here, but you can see, I'll draw it out real quick. We got a shoulder and a head, and oh, there was a shoulder there too, and that came down. So that might actually be played out already. That might already be played out. Look at that squiggly guy right there. Might be played out already. We are beneath this ascending channel here, but we've played out beneath this for a little while in the past before breaking back into it and trying to go for the top. We haven't been to the top of this channel, of this ascending channel, honestly, since February of 2024. I'd really like to see it come back to the top of this channel, which in this case would be up in the mid 30s for Mara. That's what my expectation would be going forward here. Let's take a look at Riot real quick. How's Riot doing? Dude, this loading is painful. Riot. Okay, it's not really doing much. It's not looking like a double bottom. This is looking more like a flag. As soon as we break this trend right here, as soon as we break this trend line here on Riot, I'd expect a return to about $13. If we can conquer $13, I'd be expecting a return back to about $15 on Riot. We did get a cross up on the MACD. Let me make this a little bit bigger. We did get a cross up on the MACD. It is kind of curling back just like on Bit Digital and CleanSpark. We got yellow on green though, and the B extender though is where. So these signals are all over the place. The signals are all over the place. We need to see a break of this trend line and a return to $13. Otherwise, I'm not feeling too bullish. Now we are seeing a bit of an inverted head and shoulders right here. We got the shoulder, head, and another shoulder here. If we can get back up above that $13, we could easily move back up to 15 in just a quick shot. And we are getting a nice gap up on just about every single one of these. IREN. All right, IREN is one. Don't draw that yet. Okay, IREN made a higher low here, so a higher high and a higher low. That is great. If IREN can get up and above $11.77, we could easily return to $13, between $13 and $15. So that would be great. If IREN gets above 1177 there, I'm quite bullish on that short term if that happens. If it doesn't, if it takes out this low here at 974, then we're looking at potentially coming all the way back down to 875, maybe even lower on IREN. So this could end up being pretty gross, but if it gets up above 1177, I'm feeling very optimistic there. The B extender is all over the place. The MACD hasn't crossed up yet. So signals are kind of all over the place, but the structure is looking bullish currently. Like it has a chance. It has a chance. Let's take a look at CoreZ. How's CoreZ? Is that bouncing back? The loading time right now is it's painful. Okay, it made a lower low. Made a lower low. I don't like this one. This is looking weak. It made a doji, slightly green doji. Yeah, no, I don't like this. Again, this trend line right here, this yellow one, we got to get above this before I'm bullish on CoreZ again. Until then, I'm just watching it fall. We could revisit 1253 here pretty easily. Maybe even come back and tap this structure back here at 1224. CoreZ's been running for a really, really long time. So to see this kind of bleed off for a little while, that's normal. We're coming back to a base. The low crypto-related stuff tends to come to the lowest base that is acceptable. In this case, about like between $11 and $12. I'm looking at for that, and yeah, everything is kind of pointing down on CoreZ right now. So it's actually one of the weaker looking ones for once. Let's take a look at Wolf. How is Wolf doing? Come on, Wolf, load. It is yeah, the loading is going to be the worst part of this video, I think, today. What is going on? So we're looking at, it didn't want to show us Wolf, so we're looking at HUT. We had a higher high or higher low here. We made a higher low here. That's great. HUT can get above 27.28, and it is going right back to the highs, probably even higher. So this is good. We got a nice gap up and go. The morning has started here, so I'm going to wrap this up pretty quick. We got a nice gap up on just about all of our favorite assets right now, and we made all of these are creating something of a double bottom. Some are better looking than others as we went over them. Let's take a look at Wolf. Wolf made a lower low. That's not good. So on Wolf right now, I want to see, not this one, I want to see a break of this line right here. I want to see a break of this white line. When I see a break of that white line, then we got a shot at coming back up to this yellow line, and we break that yellow line, we got a shot at coming back up to this red line right here. So Wolf is actually in a pretty wicked downtrend, but it is something of a falling wedge. If I go right here, and I go like this, something of a falling wedge. But of course, we could come all the way back down to the bottom of this before breaking out. So don't get too excited about it being a falling wedge. It needs to break this white line and then get up to this yellow one. And then that's where it's going to struggle. And once it proves itself above this yellow line, then Wolf is a go again. And of course, nothing I say is financial advice or a suggestion to buy, sell, or hold any asset whatsoever. I know I didn't cover all of the Bitcoin mining stocks. I'm going to cut this off here, since the internet's been going so slow and loading all kind of just like garbage. So today's gonna look like it's going to be a day of reprieve. We're up 10% today on Wolf, like across the board. We're up a lot on a lot of things here today, so that's always great. That's always nice to see. Anyways, with that said, please like, comment, subscribe, share this video. Check out the Trade Cave store, link in the description as well as the channel bio, and have a profitable day.